Things seem quieter around the Kerch Strait on Monday. Captured and damaged Ukrainian vessels are docked in Kerch, a Russian-controlled harbour. Russia has unblocked access to the Azov Sea for commercial shipping. Sunday saw the worst open military confrontation between Russia and Ukraine since Russian troops annexed Crimea 4 years ago. Russian ships blocked the Kerch Strait. It's an important shipping channel to supply the Ukrainian industrial city of Mariupol. The Russian Navy rammed a Ukrainian tugboat and opened fire on Navy boats, which Russia said had trespassed into its territorial waters. Several Ukrainians were injured as shots were fired. Though the military confrontation has cooled, politically it remains hot.
I
address the leadership of the Russian Federation with a demand: the immediate release of Ukrainian servicemen who, in violation of the international law, were brutally detained and whose fate is unknown.
Ukraine's parliament could well approve President Poroshenko's recommendation to impose martial law later. Martial law basically suspends normal political life. No rallies, no changes to the constitution, no changes to senior political personnel, including the president himself, and no elections. Bear in mind that President Poroshenko is up for re-election at the end of March. Ukrainian anger against Russia is on display. Masked men lit flares outside the Russian consulate in Kharkiv. A fire started inside the consular compound. In the Kremlin, this is all portrayed as a cynical and premeditated provocation to shore up Poroshenko's declining popularity and provoke more sanctions against Moscow.
There are constant violations of the international humanitarian law in Ukraine, even without martial law. Shelling of residential areas and social infrastructure, killings of civilians.
Ukraine has requested an urgent meeting of the UN Security Council. That's scheduled for later on Monday. Leaders in Kiev are trying to gauge the level of international support they have in what they're calling a blatant act of Russian aggression.